Good one. So you enjoyed your breaks. Too good. Now I'll take you through illustration number 8 and 9 in combination. Modiglani Miller theory arbitrage कर रहे हैं हम लोग. Have a look at the question. First one. Following information is available from the books of Sita Limited and Rita Limited. Sita and Rita. Net operating income 2,40,000. 10% debenture 7,20,000 only in Sita. Rita पे कुछ नहीं है. And equity capitalization rate 16%. दोनों का. That is KE given to you. Calculate the total value and the WACC. That means you need to calculate total value of the firm and you need to calculate WACC. Okay. So I guess ये ready है. मैं इसी को थोड़ा रब करता हूँ और यहीं पे थोड़े आंसर्स बनाता हूँ. Inherently आलसी इंसान हूँ मैं. So firm A, firm B की जगह पे we have got two firms. One is known as Sita and second one is known as Rita. So first one Sita, second one Rita. So we have two firms Sita and Rita और WACC कैलकुलेट करना है और मार्केट वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करना है. ठीक है. क्वेश्चन नंबर लिख देते हैं जो मैं ऑलवेज भूल जाता हूँ. दैट इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 8. लेट्स स्टार्ट. सो दिस इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 8. गॉट इट. फर्स्ट वन. फर्स्ट सीता लिमिटेड से स्टार्ट करते हैं. द फर्म सीता ऑपरेटिंग इनकम इज 240. ऑपरेटिंग इनकम का मतलब EBIT होता है. Do we have an interest in Sita? They have got a loan of 7,20,000 at 10%. So 7,20,000 and to 10%. Is it 72,000? 240 minus 72,000. I'm getting an income of 1,68,000, that is dividend. Equity capitalization rate दिया हुआ है आपको. So market value of equity possible है. Equity capitalization rate is 16%. That's dividend by KE. So dividend is 1,68,000 by KE 16%. So 1,68,000 divided by 16%. 10,50,000 is the market value of equity. 7,20,000 on the top is market value of debt. So 10,50,000 plus 7,20,000. 17,70,000 is the value of the firm. 17,70,000 is the value of the firm. Do you agree with that one? And we can calculate the cost of equity, cost of capital now. That is EBIT 240 divided by the value of the firm. That is 17,70,000. So 2,40,000 divided by 17,70,000. 240 divided by 17,70,000 into 100 करना नहीं भूलना. Is equal to 13.56% is the answer. Clear? And the question they were asking me is two things. First, they asked me the value and the WACC. The value of the firm 17,70,000, WACC 13,56,000. कौन से फर्म का किया? सीता. अब कौन से फर्म का करेंगे? रीटा. Rita has also got an EBIT of 240, but Rita does not have any loan, so it will be 240. Equity capitalization rate is 16%, so 240 divided by 16%. 240 divided by 16%, I'm getting an answer of 15 lakhs. So market value of equity is 15 lakhs, but it does not have any value of debt, so market value of the firm will be 15 lakhs. And 240 by 15 lakhs, you should not even try to work it out. इसके पहले वाले क्वेश्चन में सिखाया आपको. So 240 by 15, your answer will come out to be 16%. WACC is 16%. Market value of the firm 15 lakhs, 16%. So who is at an advantageous position right now? The levered firm. Market value ज़्यादा इन लोगों का, WACC कम है. Higher the market value, lower the WACC. That's the better thing for this firm. But यहीं पे arbitrage चालू होता है. Now what will happen? People will shift from A, that is people will shift from Sita and go to Rita. Rita might be looking more smarter. So सीता से शिफ्ट होके कहाँ जाना है? रीटा पे. एडवांटेज होगा पीपल विल बी एट एडवांटेज, और ये एडवांटेज के वजह से क्या होगा, व्हेन पीपल विल स्टार्ट शिफ्टिंग फ्रॉम योर टू देयर, दिस विल कीप ऑन इंक्रीजिंग एंड दिस विल कीप ऑन डिक्रीजिंग, देयरबाय दोनों का WACC, दोनों का मार्केट वैल्यू सेम हो जाएगा। यही क्वेश्चन नंबर 9 में दिखा उन्होंने। आप देखिए अभी, assuming that investor holds 20% in SITA and will be benefited by investing in REITA. Assuming that investor holds 20% in SITA, will he be benefited by investing in REITA? मतलब will he be in a better position from selling in SITA to REITA? He will be, but उसे क्या करना है इसके लिए? कितना परसेंट होल्ड कर रहा है वो? 20%. And maintaining the same level of risk, investor holds 20% in SITA. Investor holds 20% in SITA. Maintaining same risk, what should he do? Buy 20% in REITA, बोरो, ये फॉर्म ने कितना बोरो किया था? 7,20,000, मेरा 20% स्टेक था, तो 7,20,000 का 20% बोरो करना चाहिए मुझे। सो आई शुड बोरो 7,20,000 का 20% comes to 1,44,000. आई विल बी इन अ बेटर पोजिशन। सीता में 20% स्टेक बेच दो, रीटा में 20% स्टेक खरीदो, और सीता का जो बोरोइंग था उसका 20% आप बोरो करो। That will maintain the risk. You have to understand this borrowing. Why borrowing? Because when I was holding stake in SITA, SITA had borrowed, leveraging था, risk था, financial leverage. Leverage चैप्टर कराया ना आपको, तो यहाँ पे फाइनेंशियल लेवरेज में सफ़र कर ही रहा था। जब मैं यहाँ पे बेच के यहाँ पे आ रहा हूँ, ये फॉर्म ने बोरो नहीं किया है, तो मैं तो फाइनेंशियल लेवरेज से फ्री हो गया, तो रिस्क कम हो जाएगा। इनफैक्ट मुझे रिस्क कम करने में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, मुझे सेम लेवल ऑफ रिस्क मेंटेन करना है और प्रॉफिट बना के निकलना है। हो सकता है, नहीं हो सकता है, यही क्वेश्चन ने प्रूव करने के लिए कहा है, एंड हो सकता है। हैव अ लुक हियर। अब मैं यहाँ पे आपको उल्टा दिखाता हूँ जो मैंने लास्ट क्वेश्चन में दिखाया था उससे। फर्स्ट थिंग, सबसे पहले मैं आपको यहाँ पे दिखाता हूँ इनकम पोजिशन, इज द रिस्क लेवल मेंटेन्ड और नॉट। सो आई विल शो यू फर्स्ट इनकम पोजिशन। income position before and after. Before मतलब सीता में स्टेक बेचने के पहले, सीता में कितना परसेंट स्टेक था आपका? 20%। सीता का डिविडेंड कितना था? कम यो, सीता का डिविडेंड इज इट 168? तो मुझे 168 का 20% डिविडेंड मिल रहा था। सो डिविडेंड इन सीता 1,68,000 का 20%। चलिए कैलकुलेट कीजिए, 1,68,000 का 28%, 1,68,000 इंटू 20%, इज इट 33,600? मतलब आई वॉज गेटिंग डिविडेंड ऑफ 33,600 डिविडेंड इन सीता आफ्टर। अब मैंने सीता में अपना शेयर बेच दिया है और मैंने शेयर खरीदा कहाँ पे? रीटा में। रीटा 2,40,000 का डिविडेंड दे रहे थे, उसका 20% मुझे मिलेगा बिकॉज मैं 20% खरीद रहा हूं। डिविडेंड इन रीटा 2,40,000, 20% 48,000। पर जब मैं सीता में होल्ड करा था कोई बोरिंग नहीं था, अब जब रीटा में है तो मैं बोरोइंग हूं। एंड कितना बोरो किया है मैंने? 1,44,000। और इंटरेस्ट रेट क्या चल रहा है गाइस? इंटरेस्ट रेट चल रहा है 10%। मुझे इंटरेस्ट पे करना पड़ेगा, लेस इंटरेस्ट। 1,44,000 का 10%, 14,400। 48,000 minus 14,400 minus 48,000, आई एम गेटिंग एन आंसर ऑफ 33,600। मेरा इनकम पहले भी 33,600 था, मेरा इनकम अभी भी 33,600 है। मतलब आई विल टेल यू रिस्क लेवल इज मेंटेन्ड, सेम रिस्क लेवल, एग्जैक्टली सेम रिस्क लेवल, करेक्ट। ओके, एट सेम रिस्क लेवल मेरा कैश पोजीशन क्या कहता है? एम आई एट एडवांटेज? कवरिंग दिस टाइटल, कैश पोजीशन, इनफ्लोस, आउटफ्लो। इनफ्लो कहां से आएगा? सेल स्टेक इन सीता। सीता में कितना परसेंट स्टेक था आपका? 20%। सीता का वैल्यू कितना था? मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ इक्विटी ऑफ सीता 10,50,000। तो 10,50,000 हम सेल करेंगे, 20% आप सेल कर रहे हो। सो सेल स्टेक इन सीता 10,50,000 इंटू 20%, 2,10,000 आ रहा है, प्लस बोरो 7,20,000, 20%, 1,44,000, 2,10,000 plus 1,44,000, 2,10,000 plus 1,44,000, 210 plus 144, 3,54,000 is your cash inflow. Outflow buy 20% stake in Rita. 15 lakhs मार्केट वैल्यू है रीटा का, उसका 20% आप स्टेक खरीद रहे हो तो आपको 3 लाख रुपीज देना पड़ेगा। 3,54,000 was inflow, 3 lakh was outflow, 54,000 is boss net inflow. सेम लेवल ऑफ रिस्क, मेरे इनकम पोजीशन में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है, मैं 54,000 रुपी एक्स्ट्रा कैश लेके निकलूंगा। आप पीपल बेटर ऑफ selling stake in Sita and buying stake in Rita? Answer is yes, we proved it. Answer is proved, we should dance. Clear? Jackass. That's your question number 9. 8 हम लोग ने कैलकुलेशन किया था, क्वेश्चन नंबर 9 हम लोग ने प्रूव किया कि पीपल विल क्रॉस ओवर फ्रॉम सीता टू रीटा। क्वेश्चन नंबर 10, they are asking us a very theoretical question. They said prove that arbitrage will work and Sita and Rita will come to the same position. So what is happening? People will sell Sita, market price of Sita will go down, WACC of Sita will go up, people will buy Rita, market price of Rita will go up, WACC of Rita will come down. What will happen? WACC will be equal, market price will be equal. This is arbitrage. Got it? That's question number 8, 9 and 10. I hope you understood theory arbitrage well now. पक्का? चलिए आप कॉपी कर लीजिए, फिर हम लोग एक और एक्सटेंशन पे जाते हैं। ठीक है, चलिए। Done. Too good. This was theory arbitrage. Next one, अपने books में आगे continue कीजिए, and you will see a title known as Modigliani-Miller Theory Corporate Taxation. Now, what does Modigliani-Miller Theory Corporate Taxation tell you? This theory tells you that if government starts charging taxation, or if we start introducing taxation into the concept, then debt funds will be at advantage. Debt funds will be at an advantage because interest will have a tax saving feature. Interest will have a tax saving feature. जबकि appropriations, dividend and retained earnings will not give you any advantage on taxes because they are appropriation. Interest is a charge, whereas dividend is an appropriation. That's an age-old saying. In fact, we study this right from CPT. I introduced my lecture on CPT only by telling the students that difference between the loan and the equity capital is interest. Loan पे interest pay करना पड़ता है जिस पे tax saving होता है, और capital, equity capital पे dividend देते हैं जिस पे कोई tax saving नहीं होता. So if there is taxation, debt structure will be advantage. Simple thing. Look at it. According to this theory, आप book में देख रहे हैं ना? According to this theory, when taxes are paid on the corporate income, use of debt fund is advantageous due to the tax saving effect on the interest payments. Equity dividends and retained earnings are not deductible as they are appropriations and not charged against the profit of the company. Effect on tax savings. When corporate taxation is included in the analysis, the value of the firm will increase and the cost of the capital will decrease. That means with the same things and the funda, debt aa jaye, automatically value of the firm will increase and the cost of capital will decrease. WACC of the company that has a debt component in the capital structure will be calculated as follows. एक formula दिया है, अगर tax हो तो KC will be calculated by using this formula. If we introduce taxation, KC will be equal to K into percentage of equity capital plus 1 minus tax KD into percentage of debt capital. Equity and debt, overall capital will be divided at 100. So how much percentage is equity, how much percentage is debt? The percentage of equity plus the percentage of a debt, this two should be equal to the total 100 only. Then cost of equity into percentage equity, cost of debt into percentage cost, but 1 minus T. This 1 minus T is the additional funda. Are we clear with that one? Too good. Can we prove this? Illustration. Question number 11. Vrunda Limited paid a dividend of 5 lakh with a cost of equity that is 25%. If firm employs 60 lakh debt bearing an interest rate of 15%, compute the overall value of the firm and its WACC. We again need to calculate the value of the firm and the WACC with this structure. Now assume the tax rate of 50% and prove that corporate taxation reduces the WACC and increases the overall value of the firm. Debt structure है, tax introduce करेंगे तो WACC will decline and value of the firm will increase. That's what we have to understand. Have a look here. Question number कौन सा? 11 ना? हाँ, question number 11. First one, I am saying no taxes. No taxes. 1. EBIT minus interest is equal to dividend. Now they said Vrunda Limited has paid a dividend of how much? 5 lakh. Cost of equity was 25%, 5 lakh. Cost of equity is 25%. It employs 60 lakh debt bearing an interest rate of 50%. 60 lakh का debt है bearing an interest rate of 15%. 60 lakh का 15%. 9 lakh will be the interest. है ना? So 5 lakh plus 9 lakh EBIT आएगा. So this time can I say my EBIT will be 14 lakh? Are you understanding the calculations? Second, ओवरऑल वैल्यू ऑफ द फर्म एंड केसी कैलकुलेट करना है. तो वैल्यू ऑफ इक्विटी 15 कितना परसेंट दिया था 25. कैन वी कैलकुलेट मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ इक्विटी? मार्केट प्राइस ऑफ इक्विटी इज इक्वल टू डिविडेंड बाय के, डिविडेंड 5 lakh by K 25% is equal to 20 lakhs. 20 lakhs is market value of equity. What is market value of debt? I guess 60 lakh. So guys, what is the total value of the firm? Value is equal to equity plus debt. If I'm not wrong, is it 80 lakhs? Do you agree with that? Fifth one, KC is equal to EBIT upon V. How much is EBIT? EBIT is 14 lakhs upon V is 80 lakhs. 14 lakhs by 80 lakhs. 14 lakhs divided by 80 lakhs into 100. I am getting 17.5%. 17.5% is your WACC. And this is no taxes. हम लोग अभी तक कोई टैक्सेस पे नहीं कर रहे. सो अगर कोई भी टैक्सेस नहीं पे कर रहे तो 17.5% हम लोग को WACC मिल रहा है. सो राइट नाउ माई WACC स्टैंड्स एट 17.5% एंड द वैल्यू ऑफ द फर्म इज 80 lakhs. अगर टैक्स आ जाएगा तो वी हैव टू प्रूव कि my value of the firm increases and I also have to prove that my KC decreases. That is the cost of equity, the overall firm ka cost. Tax we'll introduce here at the rate of 50%. Now if tax is introduced at the rate of 50%, my KC will be equal to, if you remember the formula, K into percentage equity plus 1 minus T KD into percentage of debt. Do you agree with that one? Is equal to KE 25%, percentage equity. Equity was 20 lakhs out of the total of 80 lakhs. Automatically proportion आ जाएगा. Equity was 20 lakhs out of the proportion of 80 lakhs. Do you agree with that one? I could have even said this is 25%, but always amounts इतने synonym नहीं होंगे ना, तो always याद रखो equity by total, तो proportion of equity मिल जाएगा plus 1 minus 0.5, that's a tax rate, into 15% into 60 by 80. Yes or no? समझ रहे हो आप? 1 minus tax, that is 1 minus 0.5, that's a tax rate gone. 15% is the cost of debt into 60 by 80. चलिए answers. 25% of 20 by 80, 20 divided by 80 into 0.25 into 100 मत भूलना. 6.25% plus 15% of 60 by 80, 60 divided by 80 into 15% into 100, 11.25. 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5, so 11.25 into 0.5, I am getting 5.625. 6.25 plus 5.625 is equal to plus 6.25, I am getting 11.875%. 11.875% is my new KC. My KC has declined from 17.5% to 11.875%. That's what I said. Proved, and if proved, we can dance. पक्का जकास. और ना अभी अगर आपके पास केसी आ गया तो मैं मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ फर्म निकाल सकता हूँ. न्यू वैल्यू ऑफ द फर्म इज इक्वल टू, क्या था वैल्यू ऑफ द फर्म? EBIT अपॉन KC. KC वॉज इक्वल टू EBIT अपॉन V. तो V यहाँ पे, KC यहाँ पे इज इक्वल टू EBIT. हाउ मच इज EBIT? EBIT इज इट 14 lakhs? So it's 14 lakhs divided by 11.875%. 14 lakhs divided by 11.875 Percentage, I'm getting 1 crore 17 lakh, 1 crore 17 lakh 89,474, and it shows that market value of the firm, which was 80 lakhs, has increased to 1 crore 17 lakh 89,474 crore. That's the impact of taxation. Taxation introduction के वजह से debt becomes more and more favorable. पक्का? This was on Modiglani Miller, corporate taxation. Corporate taxation. Corporate taxation. This brings an end to everything on Got that? Too good. कॉपी कर लीजिए, उसके बाद हम को कंप्लीट करते हैं और एक और थ्योरी है, थ्योरी में उसको पढ़ते हैं, थोड़े प्रैक्टिकल क्वेश्चन से करने बाकी है. फिलहाल तो आप इतना कॉपी कीजिए. चलिए. We are done with Modiglani Miller? Okay. Now, what we studied, Modiglani Miller is an extension to what? Net operating income approach. Then we studied arbitrage and we also studied taxation. The next part, you can look into your textbook again. Modiglani and Miller theory criticisms. The criticisms relating to this theory. Modiglani and Miller theory is not free of criticisms. It is criticized on the following grounds. The theory assumes no transaction costs. That was an assumption. There's absolutely no transaction cost. But guys, security markets world over has got transaction costs. It has got brokerage. It has got security transaction costs. All capital markets all over the world have transaction cost of buying and selling the securities. Also, the theory assumes perfect capital market. In reality, there exist some imperfections. Even a technical glitch will not allow the capital markets to flow properly. In fact, just last week, BSE stock exchange was closed for a couple of hours because of a technical glitch. So, this is a hampering towards the capital markets. Third, the theory has also explained the arbitrage which nullifies the impact of leverage. We studied that firm A, the levered firm B, the unlevered firm, both will have the same values. In reality, this is not true. That's what I'm writing there. The theory also explained the arbitrage which nullifies the effect of leverage, which is not true. Investor never behave in such calculated and rational way in switching over from a levered firm to the unlevered firm. Having a knowledge to such a great extent, not possible. Fourth one, the theory also assumed the perfect knowledge on the part of investor. Do you think that? In fact, last night my dad came to me and he told me, Rahul, now there's a company known as Rama Newsprints and Papers Limited. Iska shares खरीद लो. तो I said, Dad, why? बोलता नहीं, आज ऐसे ही ट्रेन में जा रहा था तो हमारे बाजू वाले बात कर रहे थे कि बहुत अच्छा न्यूज़ आ रहा है, टिप है, डबल हो जाएगा प्राइस. This is how Indian share market operates. And we are assuming perfect knowledge. We are assuming investors have good knowledge on the theory. Answer is absolutely no, they don't. They don't have that perfect knowledge on the theory. Continue. The theory also assumes perfect knowledge on the part of investor. The reality, the majority of investors have no knowledge with reference to relation to the operation of the company. They buy and sell the shares not only on the basis of fundamentals of the company, but also for the variety of reasons. Got that? Too good. That's Modiglani Miller. The next theory I have is known as a packing order theory. Basically, this is the last in the theories, and then we'll do some practical questions to solve these things. Packing order. Modigliani Miller, packing. It was NI first, NOI next, traditional next, packing order. That's the 5 theory list. That's packing order theory. Take it on. This theory was proposed by Donaldson in 1961. It was further developed by Mayer in 1984. So the theory was started by Donaldson in 1961 and it was further developed by Mayer in 1984. According to this theory, the capital of the structure is more dependent on the internal cash flows, cash dividends and acceptable investment opportunity. The theory gives a lot of importance to the cost involved in raising the funds. Basically, according to this theory, the higher importance should be given to the cost of raising the funds. And they say the funds which are absolutely involving lesser cost are internal accruals. Firms जो profit करता है, जो retained earning होता है, वो सबसे cheapest होता है. Assumptions of this theory. Now, basically, I will teach you this theory from 2 parts, from Donaldson's approach and one from Mayer's approach. Donaldson's approach, there is no cost involved in the funds that are internally generated. This is the assumption. Absolutely internally generated funds का कोई cost नहीं है. It involves cost for raising the external funds. Cost of raising the debt is cheaper than the cost of raising the capital. KD is cheaper than KE. Servicing debt is more cheaper than servicing equity. Servicing debt interest pay कर दो, servicing equity करने के लिए dividend pay करना पड़ेगा. Interest will be more cheaper than dividend because interest is a charge, taxation benefit भी मिलेगा, dividend is an appropriation. So 4 assumptions. Assumption number 1, absolutely no cost in raising the funds. Assumption number 2, KD is less than KE. There is a cost in raising the debt. Servicing the debt is more cheaper than servicing of equity. Donaldson approach, pecking order theory. Donaldson's approach now tells you that the approach, the theory itself, it suggests that firms should use the low cost funds. Now we also know that low cost funds that will keep your WACC low. Lower the WACC, higher the value of the company. The low cost funds means the internally generated funds, and Donaldson has given you the packing order. Funds कैसे raise करना चाहिए? Ranking. According to packing order, the ranking. First, internally generated funds. अगर ये शॉर्ट पड़े तो डेट्स, और अगर ये शॉर्ट पड़े तो इक्विटी. बट पैकिंग ऑर्डर सबसे पहला ऑर्डर होना चाहिए इंटरनली जनरेटेड फंड्स. नाउ दैट्स वन सिंपल थियोरी. प्रैक्टिकल क्वेश्चंस भी नहीं रखे, ज़्यादा टाइम पास भी नहीं करता हूँ मैं इस थियोरी पे. वन सिंपल वर्ड, दिस थियोरी टेल्स यू दैट वी शुड रेज द फंड्स फर्स्ट थ्रू इंटरनली जनरेटेड सोर्सेज एंड देन थ्रू डेट एंड लास्ट थ्रू इक्विटी. करेक्ट है? Too good. See this. To minimize the overall cost of the funds, the order of raising the funds should be internal cash accruals, additional debts, and additional equity. The order is evolved according to the cost evolved by raising the fund. As per the assumption stated, the cost of raising internal cash is least, and that of raising the equity is the highest. As per Donaldson, the firm should rely on internally generated funds as much as possible. However, if firm needs additional fund, then the order should be debt and finally should be equity. Do you agree with that? Clean. Mayer's approach. Donaldson अपने काम करके चले गए, फिर Mayer थोड़ा और अपना काम कर रहे हैं. Mayer suggests that firms should follow modified packing order in approach of financing. He suggested that order of preference is attributed to asymmetric information relating to the capital market. He said information in the capital market is not symmetric, means it is not whole. There are half information here, half information there. It does not flow in proper directions and all. And due to this asymmetric information, The projects may be undervalued by the market. The issue of equity share is interpreted by market as a wrong false signal. Now company which issues the shares in the market, people take it wrongly. For example, I'm running this institution, it's working very fine. अब मैं equity issue कर रहा हूँ. People take it wrongly. Two reason. उनको लगता है मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है, and second उनको लग रहा है मैं ये company को छोड़ के जा रहा हूँ. I started the company, was doing very fine, and I want to liquidate my share. Maybe I want to liquidate my share so that I will have funds to grow faster. Got that? Too good. Second, he suggested that the order of preference that is done. Third, hence the finance manager prefers to finance the project by internal accruals. If internal funds are insufficient, the project may be financed by debt, and finally, if required, through equity. Donaldson and Mayer told you the same stuff. पहले internal accruals, फिर debt, फिर equity. This is known as a packing order theory. Done. In fact, I'm done and dusted with the chapter. थोड़े practical questions. NI, NOI, traditional MM packing order. NI, more the debt, better for the company. Optimum 100% debt. NOI does not make a difference. Traditional, it does make a difference. You have to strive hard. WACC first decreases, becomes constant, then increases. MM, similar to NOI, we studied the arbitrage and we studied the taxation impact. Pecking order, first internal accruals, then debt, lastly through equity. Done and dusted. Got through. Cool. चलिए अब practical questions पे जाते हैं. Pick up question number 12 to start with. Can I? Please. Start करें. Question number 12. Lords Limited's EBIT is 4 lakh. The company has 10% 20 lakh debentures. Equity capitalization rate, that is KE, is 16%. You are required to calculate market value of equity and value of the firm. Market value of the equity and the value of the firm. Guys, अगर आपको वर्किंग समझ रहा है अभी ये चैप्टर करने के बाद मेरे साथ, पहला वर्किंग तो EBIT माइनस इंटरेस्ट इज डिविडेंड. सेकेंड, KE दिया हुआ है तो मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ इक्विटी मिल जाएगा. येस और नो? दिस इज हाउ वी वर्क ऑन. डेट ऑलरेडी है. वैल्यू ऑफ द फर्म V इज इक्वल टू E प्लस D. ओवरऑल कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल KC इज इक्वल टू EBIT अपॉन V. तो अपने 5 वर्किंग क्लियर हो गए. द कंपनी रेजेज ₹5 lakh ऑफ डेट to use the fund to repay the equity. How will the net income approach work? Too good. Basically back to net income approach. We are just working and practicing on this now. So question number 12. Debt 25 lakhs and debt is raised by 5 lakh more. मतलब I am trying to tell you कि debt पहले 20 lakhs हैं और कितना परसेंट डेट है वो? It's 10% 20 lakh of debenture. So 10% debt and 25 lakhs. Do you agree with that one? Too good. Working, first one. पहले हम लोग 20 lakh वाले डेट का सिनेरियो कंप्लीट करते हैं, फिर देखते हैं नेट इनकम अप्रोच कैसे वर्क करता है. If you remember net income approach, KD and KE shall remain constant and WACC will fall. Question number 1 by 1. First working. EBIT minus interest. We get the dividend. EBIT minus interest is dividend. How much is EBIT that we have? 4 lakh. Interest. 20 lakh का 10%, 2 lakh. So the dividend is 2 lakh. Do you agree with that one? पक्का ना? Okay. Second, KE हमारे पास है तो मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ इक्विटी मिलेगा. मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ इक्विटी इज इक्वल टू डिविडेंड बाय KE. डिविडेंड 2 lakh by KE. Cost of equity 16%. I guess 16% दिया है कि 10% दिया है? Equity capitalization rate is 16%. So dividend 2 lakh by 16%. I'm getting 12 lakh 50. Correct? 12 lakh 50. Okay. Next, do we have the market value of the debt? Market price of the debt is already given to you at 20 lakh. Fourth, value of the firm is equal to equity plus the debt. 1232. 32 lakh 50,000 is the value of the debt. Do you agree with that one? Okay. So first one, market value of the equity 1250, market value 32 lakh 50, and then they said question number 2 pay overall cost of capital. Fifth one, KC is equal to EBIT upon V. EBIT 4 lakh upon V 32 lakh 50,000. 4 lakh divided by 32 lakh 50,000. Can we get the answer, sir? 4 lakh divided by 32 lakh 50,000 into 100 करना मत भूलना. I'm getting answer of 12.31%. Correct है sir? Okay. 12.31%. Okay. Now what am I telling you more? Ki if the company raises the debt, basic assumptions फिर से एक बार, ओवरऑल कैपिटल स्ट्रक्चर विल रिमेन द सेम. अगर डेट से पैसा आएगा तो वो पैसा इक्विटी को चला जाएगा. KD KE हैज़ टू रिमेन कांस्टेंट. WACC हैज़ टू फॉल. It should be less than 12.31%. Check that out. Let's try this. EBIT will remain 4 lakh because overall capital structure remains the same. अभी 25 lakh का डेट है, उस पर 10% इंटरेस्ट भर रहे, 2 lakh 50. KD remains constant. एक एक अजम्पशन यहाँ पे इम्प्लाई होता है. ये 4 लाख कौन से अजम्पशन से आता है कि ओवरऑल कैपिटल कांस्टेंट, ओवरऑल कैपिटल इज कांस्टेंट. ये 2 लाख 50 कैसे आता है? KD कांस्टेंट. डू यू अग्री? आंसर इज इट 1 लाख 50? डिविडेंड 1 लाख 50 बाई 16%. 1 लाख 50 बाई 16%. आंसर 1 lakh 50 divided by 16%. I'm getting an answer of 9,37,500. 9,37,500. Now this came up with the concept that KE will remain constant. If KD remains constant, KE remains constant. KD is less than KE. KD was 10%, KE was 16%. लिख देते हैं. Then the WACC has to fall. Debt 25 lakh. 25 lakh plus 9 lakh 37,000. Is it 34 lakh 37,500? 34 lakh 37,500. Got that? EBIT 4 lakh divided by 34 lakh 37,500. 4 lakh divided by 34 lakh 37,500 into 100 करना मत भूलना. I am getting an answer of 12.64%, and that's what I promised you. 12.64, 11.64 ना, sorry. And that's what I said. I promised you, that is your WACC will decline. पहले WACC कितना था आपका? 12.31 और अभी आपका WACC कितना है? 11.64. Got that? Net income approach. Chakas. Prove and dance. Prove and dance. Comment. Good. चलिए कॉपी. क्वेश्चन नंबर 12, उसके बाद आगे जाते हैं. So you're done with question number 12. I move on to question number 13 now. चलिए, नेट इनकम रिवाइज किया, अब नेट ऑपरेटिंग इनकम रिवाइज करते हैं. Shushila Limited's operating income is 4 lakh, that's EBIT. The firm's cost of debt is 10% and it currently, the firm is employing rupee 20 lakh of debt. So KD 10%, debt 20 lakh diya hua hai. The overall cost of capital of the firm is 16%. Overall cost of capital diya hua hai 16. KC is given to you, KD is given to you. Value of equity ढूंढना पड़ेगा and KE ढूंढना पड़ेगा. तो आपका एप्लीकेशन फर्स्ट EBIT माइनस इंटरेस्ट डिविडेंड, फिर वैल्यू ऑफ द फर्म कैलकुलेट करेंगे केसी से, वैल्यू ऑफ डेट दिया है, फिर वैल्यू ऑफ इक्विटी कैलकुलेट करेंगे, E इज इक्वल टू V माइनस D एंड फाइनली हम KE कैलकुलेट करेंगे. You are required to calculate total value of the firm, cost of the equity. If the firm raises to P 2 lakh as debt and uses the fund to repay the equity, how will net operating income approach work? Have a look. और नेट ऑपरेटिंग इनकम के अजम्पशंस याद है आपको, नेट ऑपरेटिंग इनकम अप्रोच के. क्वेश्चन नंबर 13, डेट पहले से 20 लाख है और फिर 2 लाख और बढ़ा रहा है. करेक्ट है? ओके. डेट 20 लाख 22 लाख हो जाएगा ना, बढ़ जाएगा ना डेट. एंड दे आर आस्किंग यू टू प्रूव द नेट ऑपरेटिंग इनकम अप्रोच. अजम्पशंस, KD will remain constant, KC will be constant, KE will increase. That's the proving point. KE will increase. Let's check that out. First things first, पहला वर्किंग सेम रहेगा. वर्किंग नोट नंबर 2, वैल्यू ऑफ द फर्म फाइंड करेंगे. कैसे फाइंड करोगे वैल्यू ऑफ द फर्म? डिविडेंड डिवाइडेड बाय KC. उसके बाद डेट, उसके बाद इक्विटी इज इक्वल टू V माइनस D और उसके बाद KE. KE इज इक्वल टू इक्विटी डिवाइडेड बाय डिविडेंड divided by market price of equity. Got that? Too good. चलिए, first one. How much is EBIT that they are telling you? 4 lakh. Interest 20 lakh, 10%, 2 lakh. Dividend 2 lakh. 2 lakh divided by KC. What is the percentage KC they have given you? Overall cost of capitalizing is 16%. 2 lakh divided by 16%. Is it 12 lakh 50? Sorry, value of the firm dividend से नहीं आएगा, EBIT upon KC से आएगा. That's where I'm losing it out. 2 lakhs नहीं, 4 lakhs. समझा मिस्टेक क्या कर रहा था ना? Divided by 16%. Is it 25 lakhs the value of the firm? Value of the debt 20 lakh. Market value of equity 25 minus 20, is it 5 lakh? And KE is equal to dividend by 2 lakh upon the market price of equity, that is 5 lakhs. 2 lakh by 5 lakh, 40%. 40% is the cost of equity. Now, EBIT will be 4 lakh. How come I assume that EBIT will be 4 lakh? By a very simple calculation which says that overall capital structure will be constant. Overall capital structure will be constant. Continuation of that. Interest 2 lakh 20, 1 lakh 80, 4 lakh by 16%. Value of the firm will be 25 lakh. Value of the firm remains unaffected. Do you understand or do you remember that KE will KE नहीं, KC will be constant. Constant KC, constant value. इनफैक्ट ये थियोरी अपने को यही तो पढ़ा रहा था, दैट आप डेट लो, इक्विटी लो, कुछ भी लो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, एग्जैक्टली सेम रहता. परफेक्ट है ना. डेट 22 lakhs, value of equity 3 lakhs, 2 lakh by 3 lakh, value of equity will increase, K will rise. Dividend 2 lakh नहीं है, dividend 1,80,000 है, so 1,80,000 by 3 lakhs. 60%, पहले 40% था और अब आपका आंसर 60%. So KE has increased from 40 to 60. Clear? And we have solved questions all like this. This is just a practice session. I'm giving it to you for with reference to all the theories. Please go ahead. Let us take it next time. इसके बाद हम लोग next question पे जाते हैं. That is question number 14. 13 is this. Copy. Then we go to 14.